Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all will be fine. Okay students, today we will discuss the next topic of your first chapter of chemistry, fundamental of chemistry. And today's topic is differentiation between branches of chemistry. As in the previous lecture, I have told you that I will give you a detailed example in the next lecture. Because in previous lecture we have discussed about the branches of the chemistry, different branches of chemistry. We have discussed their definitions, and in today's lecture we will discuss those branches, or we will try to compare those branches with each other with the help of a example. So in order to start our topic, consider a example. That example is vinegar is a compound. Chemically it is acetic acid having formula CH3COOH. We will take this compound as an example in order to understand different branches of chemistry. Okay, your first branch was physical chemistry. If you remember, I have told you that this branch deals with the conversion of matter, conversion of different physical states of matter into each other. So now we will use the example of vinegar to understand that branch of chemistry. Okay, as you all know that vinegar is a compound that we use to flavor our food. This compound is in liquid state, but you can change it into gaseous state. Okay, the law or the theory which you will use or which you will apply to change this liquid vinegar into gaseous state, that will come under the category of physical chemistry. It's mean if you are learning that how to convert liquid vinegar or liquid acetic acid into steam form, or you can say into gaseous form, then it will be the physical chemistry. Clear students, that in physical chemistry you learn about those methods or those applications or those theories that convert state of matter from one state into another. Okay, as I have told you the formula of this compound, that it is CH3COOH. If you look its formula, then you will come to know that it contains carbon as a main ingredient. So the study of this compound will come under the category of organic chemistry, because we have learned in the previous class that organic chemistry is that branch of chemistry in which we study the compounds that contain carbon. And as chemically acetic acid is a carbon containing compound, so the complete study of its physical and chemical properties, you want to find out its melting point, you want to find out its boiling point, or anything which you want to know about this acetic acid, that will come under the category of organic chemistry. Okay, next, as if you look at the formula of this compound, it does not only contain carbon, it also contains hydrogen and oxygen as well. So if you study its component elements, mean hydrogen and oxygen, as they are not carbon compound, so this study will be the inorganic chemistry, because these compounds which are other than carbon, when you study those compounds, their properties, their physical or chemical properties, anything which you want to study about them, that will come under the category of inorganic chemistry. Okay, as you know that I have told you that we use vinegar as our food, because we used it in our food to flavor food. So it enters into the human body, we ingest it, we ingest this compound. So when it enters into the human body, it means it will undergo a certain chemical reaction in your body. So the chemical reactions that acetic acid will undergo in your body or in human body, that will be the biochemistry, because we have learned that biochemistry is that branch of chemistry in which we study those chemical reactions which occur within the living organism. So vinegar or acetic acid shows which type of reaction in your body. When you will study about those reaction, then it will be the biochemistry. Next is industrial chemistry. As in the previous lecture, I have tell you that industry mean it is a plant, or it is a area where you try to produce something on the large scale. So the methods and technologies that we will use to produce acetic acid or vinegar on the large scale, then it will be the industrial chemistry. If you study about those methods and those technologies which are used to produce acetic acid in industries, then it's mean you are studying industrial chemistry. Okay, next, if radioactive radiations are bombarded on acetic acid, if any radiation is bombarded on the acetic acid, the effect that is caused on the acetic acid or this compound, that will be the nuclear chemistry. In the previous lecture, I have told you that any change that occurs in the nuclei of any atom, that will come under the category of the nuclear chemistry. So if you are bombarding radiations on the acetic acid, then it will be the nuclear chemistry. Now, as acetic acid is produced on a large scale, different methods, different techniques, different technologies are used for its production, and after its production, what are its causes on your environment? If you study about those things, then it's mean you are discussing about the environmental chemistry. Mean, if you want to study about the effects of the acetic acid as well as anything which is derived from acetic acid on your environment, it's mean you are studying environmental chemistry. Next, the methods or the techniques or the instruments that you will use to determine the composition of acetic acid as well as its properties. For example, its melting point, its boiling point, anything which you want to study about it, it will be the analytical chemistry, because you are analyzing the compound. So analytical chemistry is that branch of chemistry in which you will study about the composition of any substance and the method or the instrument. For example, I have told you that acetic acid is composed up of CH3COOH. By looking over the acetic acid, I can find out, okay, this is the carbon, this is hydrogen, this is oxygen. No, you need a proper technique, you need a proper instrument, you need a proper method to find out its composition, that either it contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen or anything else. So that method, that technique or that instrument that you will use to find out its composition, that will fall it under the category of the analytical chemistry. Okay students, I hope you all have better understand those branches of the chemistry with the help of this example. If there is any confusion, you can ask it directly to me. Okay, now we will discuss about the self-assessment 1.1, that is on your page number 10. Okay students, here I want to make it clear that whenever you are watching or listening your video lecture, then the most important thing is that your book should be open in front of you. Whatever is on your slide, you should open it on your book so that you can compare it and you can match it and you can better understand it by comparing it from your book. So in self-assessment 1.1, you will look it over from your book on page number 10. Identify the branch of chemistry that is related to the following information. It's mean they have given you some examples and you have to find out that which branch of chemistry is involved in this process. So your first question is, hair contain a special class of proteins called keratins, and keratins are present in the nails and wool. So what do you think? Which branch of chemistry is this? This is biochemistry. Why? Because hair belongs to the living organisms, and we have learned about the branch of chemistry that deals with the living organism is called biochemistry. Next, acetylene is the simplest hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon means it contains hydrogen and carbon. That contain carbon to carbon triple bond. Hydrocarbons are the compounds of carbon and hydrogen. So they have given you some information about the acetylene, that acetylene is the simplest hydrocarbon and it contains carbon to carbon triple bond. So what do you think? Which branch of chemistry is involved in it? It is the organic chemistry. Yes, because carbon compound is being studied in this information. because they have asked about the acetylene and they have mentioned that acetylene contains carbon and hydrogen. So they are studying about the carbon containing compound, so it will be the organic chemistry. Next, white lead is a pigment used by artists for centuries. The metal lead, Pb is the symbol of lead. The metal lead in the compound is extracted from its ore galena. Okay, students, here you can relate it with two branches of chemistry, as they are discussing or they are giving information about a compound that is lead. White lead is a pigment that is used by artists for centuries, and metal lead in the compound is extracted from its ore galena. So if you look over it as a compound that it is inorganic compound, it is a compound or it is an element other than carbon, then you will fall it under the category of inorganic chemistry. But as they have mentioned that lead is extracted mean it is separated from its ore galena. So in this way they are you can say they are discussing extraction, or they are discussing the production of something. They have explaining the method of production of something on the large scale. So if you look over this information by that view, then it will fall under the category of industrial chemistry. Next, sulfuric acid is extremely corrosive to the skin. Okay, number one, as sulfuric acid is a compound and they have mentioned its effect on the adverse effect on the human being. As in the environmental chemistry you have learned about that anything which has adverse effect on human being or any component of environment, that will be the environmental chemistry. You can fall it under the category of environmental chemistry, as well as its sulfuric acid is an inorganic compound because it does not contain any carbon atom, and they have mentioned about information about the sulfuric acid, that it is extremely corrosive to the skin. They have studied about this inorganic compound, so you can fall it under the category of inorganic chemistry. Next, gases can be compressed by applying pressure. As you all know that when we compress gas, they will be changed into the liquid state. So here physical state of matter is being changed, so it will be under the category of physical chemistry. Next, some examples of complete protein food are meat, milk. Here again there is talk about the living organism, so it will be the biochemistry. Next, element radium decays by emitting alpha particles and it is converted into another element, radon. Here they are talking about the change in nuclei, mean element radium is changing into radon. If radium is changing into radon, it means something is someone change is occurring in its nuclei and emitting alpha radiations or particles that will come under the category of nuclear chemistry. Next is the calorimeter is a device that measures the instrument. Is they are talking about the instrument that is used for the measurement of heat, and it is a substance that absorbs or heats or emits on cooling. So they are talking about the instrument for the production or for absorbing or for the measurement of heat, so it will come under the category of analytical chemistry. Students, up till here we have discussed about the difference between different branches of the chemistry and self-assessment 1.1. Today's topic was differentiation between branches of chemistry and self-assessment 1.1. So students, your homework is you have to learn this difference by your heart. There is no confusion. If you have learned about the definition, then it is very clear. You only give example. For the physical chemistry, you have to write that definition with the help of example. For example, I am giving you example that the definition of physical chemistry was the branch of chemistry that deals with the laws and theories to understand the structure and changes of matter is called physical chemistry. So now difference you will write about that. If we study about those laws and those theories that are helpful to understand the structure of acetic acid and the changes that this acetic acid undergo, that will be the physical chemistry. And students, in exercise there is a question number 16 that is related to the different branches of the chemistry. You have to do that question on your sheets, and if there is any confusion in that question, you can ask it directly to me. First you have to learn that different branches. After learning, you will do that question on your answer sheets. Okay students, good luck, hope and wish you good luck.